So hello, and welcome to this video where I am going to go over the Institute for Cosmological Synthesis and their Department of Somatic Cartography and Resonant Medicine. So grab my coffee. So you guys may be a little confused, or you may not be confused, because I've made several videos, hundreds of videos actually, talking about astrology, talking about star signs, zodiac signs, whatever you want to call them. Personally, the zodiac is the most respectful to astrology as a science. And not just as a science, but as a lived out philosophy. And what I mean by that is, you can use astrology in every sense of the matter. Like, I have videos on here where I'm talking about ways to get rich with AI and astrology. I have ways to get rich with business ventures, all these crazy things, how to get a house, step by step. And what I'm going to do here is go through the Celestial Soma, a synthesized framework for astromedical diagnosis and treatment. Alright, with the core principle being the physical body is the dense material crystallization of the quantum natal object, QNO. Disease is not random, but a resonant dissonance, a symptom indicating where the flow of archetypal energy through the somatic matrix is blocked, deficient, or in destructive overexpression. This manual synthesizes Western medical astrology, Vedic, Ayurvedic, Tridosha theory, and Decanic herbal lore into a unified diagnostic and prescriptive protocol. Okay? Now let's look at part 1, which is our foundational theory, the body as a resonant map. Okay? Ooh. And what do I mean by the body as a resonant map? Well, we have our threefold somatic correspondence system, and health is assessed through 3 integrated layers. Anatomical rulership, Western, traditional sign, house, planet rulership of body parts. For example, Aries in the first house, that's Mars, the head, the adrenals. Libra, the 7th house, Venus, that's kidneys, skin balance. Okay? Second, we have our energetic principle, Ayurvedic. The 3 doshas, Vata, air, space, Pitta, fire and water, and Kapha, earth, water, as metabolic expressions of planetary energy. And third, we have our resonant pathway, ICS synthesis. The body is a network of biorhythmic pathways tuned to specific planetary frequencies. The natal chart shows the innate tuning of the system, transits show current interference or harmonics. And this is what I want you to understand. If you haven't seen my other video where I'm talking about 64 or more dimensions, I suggest you watch that right now, because even though my spelling is shit, there's definitely more than just 64 dimensions. Like, we're not just meant to be human beings. This is all game. The disease etiology model, where illness manifests in stages, and we know this. Archetypal dissonance. Our first stage, a challenging natal aspect or progressed activation. For example, Saturn square your natal sun. That creates chronic, low-grade stress in a specific resonant pathway. Second, we have our doshic imbalance, which essentially is the stress disturbs the related dosha. So for example, Saturn Sun square, that's weak Agni, digestive fire, Pitta, and excess Vata, dryness, instability. Okay? And third, we have somatic crystallization. Over time, the imbalance localizes in the anatomically corresponding tissue, creating inflammation, degeneration, or dysfunction. Okay. Now, part 2 is our advanced diagnostic cartography. And if you have no idea what cartography is, we are using astrology and we're mapping. So what happens when you put two words together? Astro mapping. And we also have cartography, also known as astro cartography. All right? We're just pinpointing when we say this. We're pinpointing with astrology. And we're using a map of some sort. Now, in part 2, like I just said, we're going over the astrocartography of diagnosing. And we have our planetary indicators of major and minor health patterns. So let's start here. Planetary body, primary governance, associated dosha common dysfunctions, natal transit, key asteroids, fixed stars, modifiers. So the sun is our vital force, our heart, our spine, our immune core. Pitta, primarily chronic fatigue, cardiomyopathy, autoimmune issues, low vitality. Asteroid hygiene, preventive care, and fixed star Regulus. Heart strength when well aspected, inflammatory issues when afflicted. So, as I said, we're going over the planetary body as the primary governance, and then we look at the associated dosha common dysfunctions, i.e. natal transits, and then more of key asteroids and fixed stars. Now we look at the moon, which we can just quickly change out that color for. Alright, so the moon, that's the lymph nodes, the stomach, breast, womb, emotional digestion. Kapha primarily, edema, digestive sluggishness, menstrual disorders, anxiety-driven illness, asteroid series, nourishment cycles, eating disorders. Okay. Now we look at Mercury, which is our nervous system, our lungs, our intestines, our synaptic function. Vata, anxiety, neuralgia, bronchitis, irritable bowel, learning disorders. Asteroid panacea, remedies, nervous system, healing. And I beg to differ. If you have debilitated or fallen zodiac signs in these planets, with these planets in your natal chart, you will succumb to these illnesses more often. At the end of the day, we all will become sick with something. And the truth is, my Mercury is debilitated, for example. Mercury doesn't like being in Pisces. Why? Because Mercury is a planet of communication. It's a planet of business. You need to know how to communicate properly and do all these things in a yes sir, yep, no sir, whatever. Mercury is the businessman. And Pisces is not that. Pisces is an individual. Pisces can be the collective. I have an Aquarius sun sign in the Vedic sidereal chart, but Western speaking, Pisces is the monk. Pisces doesn't care about what he's doing, she's doing, why they have beautiful cars. Pisces wants to go to bed and meditate all day. Pisces has seen it and done it 12 times. This is the last of the zodiac sign. The 12th house. Pisces is here to die. Say what you will. I have a fucking Pisces 11th house stellium. I am here to die. I have rebirthed myself so many times. It's insane. And I'm still here at 20, 21 years old, feeling the way that I feel. So, Mercury is in Pisces for me. My nervous system has definitely been all types of fucked up because of my childhood. Lungs, I've been smoking since I was 14. Intestines, my parents made me eat like shit for a while. I was pretty fat growing up. bronchitis, irritable bowel, learning disorders, I have autism, all these things come up. If you just know your natal chart and you're watching these videos, you're like, holy shit, this actually makes sense. This is actually so accurate. And I need to subscribe and like and comment right now. Venus, of course, is the venous system. Our kidneys, our skin, our hormonal balance, which is getting fucked up mega with this transgenderism shit. I have Venus is in my ascendant, and now I don't even know what people see me as, androgynous, because I was on hormones for 7 months. Androgyny as well. I beg to differ that Mercury would actually cause androgyny issues as well, because Mercury as a planet, which we just talked about, is a very androgynous sign, ruling Virgo and Gemini. And if you know any Virgos, if you know any Geminis, they usually act feminine. They have long hair, okay? Anyways, male or female, that's what I'm trying to get at. Venus, Kapha, Pitta, kidney stones, diabetes, Venusian, eczema, hormonal imbalances, and our fixed star algo, which I actually have right on my ascendant, which you really don't want to have if you don't want to off yourself. But anyways, fixed star algo is toxic buildup, a need for detox if afflicted. Okay? Mars is the planet that it embraces our muscles. Our human body is muscles. Our bone marrow, our adrenals, our inflammatory response, Pitta, acute injuries, fevers, infections, inflammatory diseases, arthritis, hypertension, asteroid Asclepius, surgical intervention, crisis healing. Now we have Jupiter, which is, of course, me, a girl, Piscean. So Jupiter is the liver, pancreas, fat metabolism, arterial expansion, Kapha, Pitta, fatty liver, atherosclerosis, diabetes is Jupiterian, hormonal growths, and the fixed star Aldebaran, which is overindulgence leading to illness. And that could be anything. It doesn't need to just be, I don't smoke weed, so I should be fine. Well, how much food do you eat? And what do you eat? And how often? What about what you drink? What about what you touch? What about all the fucking germs that are still gonna be here? Germs all day. It doesn't matter how clean you think you are. You're never clean enough. That's my Pisces mentality, at least. People are... Unless you have a lot of Pisces in your chart, you have no idea what I'm trying to get at, I guess. Maybe you have some other things in the chart, though, that would help you understand me. So, Saturn, skeletal system, teeth, skin, chronic processes, elimination. We look at our Vata, arthritis, osteoporosis, chronic pain, skin sclerosis, constipation, depression, the asteroid Chiron, the incurable wound, lifelong management. So Saturn being incorporated as a planet with Vata and the asteroid Chiron. And I'm not talking about, and the thing about Chiron is already the wounded healer, which is why we got the incurable wound. Because Chiron is the wounded healer, but we already have this specific placement in our own natal charts. So if you don't know where Chiron is in your natal chart, I suggest you figure that out. And now we have outer planets that we're going to look over. Starting with Uranus, which is our nervous system shocks, autoimmune spikes. We have Neptune, which is our immune confusion, mystery illnesses, toxins. Okay? And we have Pluto, which is cellular regeneration, degeneration, profound crises. All doshas via crises. So Uranus, sudden breakdowns. Neptune, chronic fatigue, allergies, psychosomatic. Pluto, Cancer, severe infections, and transformative illness. Right. Now that we just went over all of this in detail, we can move on to the next portion of this video. It seems like in a lot of my videos, I've been having some technical difficulties, but please bear with me. I am using a tablet, and it does good. It's just a matter of, will it erase for me? Will it yell at me for marking up too much? And then, as you can see, Google Docs is tweaking. Mercury is about to station retrograde in Pisces, so I'm going to be dealing with more stuff. You can already see that. One thing I didn't mention quite yet is vision problems. I have a Taurus ascendant, like I have already said. And what this does for, in my opinion, if you have late degrees of Pisces in your chart, or Taurus,